I'm Matt with etrailer, and today we're talking about the Flint Goods Steel Hitch Cargo Carrier on the back of our 2023 Kia Sorento. Now this is going to be a really good option if you plan on taking a trip with your family and you use an all 3 rows of seating, but you need somewhere else to store your extra luggage. You'll be able to do this because if you try to store anything in the back, you'll be able to get a few things back here, but I don't think you'll be able to get all your luggage. So if you need a little bit more, this will help you out with that. Or if you have anything that has a lot of spillage, anything like concrete or mulch, and you don't want that inside your vehicle, then it's also going to help keep it out too. So let's check it out. So this is going to have a weight capacity of up to 500 pounds. So it is going to be very sturdy. And along with that, it's going to be made out of steel. It's also going to have this black powder coat finish to it. And that's going to be really nice to help it be more rust resistant. Now something I will say to really think about is when you are strapping things down to the carrier, you got to think about what type of things you're using. Because right now we're just using this cam strap. And this is really nice because it doesn't have any hard edges to it. So it won't be really causing any damage to that black powder coat. If you have anything that has metal hooks, then what can happen is that hook can really scrape across that powder coat and scratch some of that off, making it more prone to rusting in those spots. Now, you're going to be able to fit a fair amount in here. It's not one of our larger carriers, but it's definitely going to help you out. You could probably get 2 of these decent-sized duffel bags in, and really to give you those exact measurements, I can get a couple measurements of the interior right now. The first one I'm going to get is going to be the width. That's going to be about 52 inches. The length is going to be a little bit under 17 and a half. And the overall height is going to be about 4 inches. So I would recommend actually taking whatever luggage you have, measuring it out, and then make sure it will fit in here too. And the way it is now, you can actually put a decent amount in here without blocking anything. When you do stack it up pretty high, I'd recommend keeping it below just about 24 inches so it doesn't block your backup camera or your license plate. But if we open up our hatch, that's actually going to make contact right about at 21 inches. So if you want hatch access, then I'd recommend keeping it below 21 inches. We get a few measurements on how far this is going to stick out to. So the first one I'm going to get is from our back bumper, and that's going to be about 22 inches, which is actually really compact for a cargo carrier. So you'll be able to fit in most spots, but definitely think about those really tight spots like garages. And for the ground clearance, that's going to be about 10 inches. So that's not super high, and that's because the Sorento is a pretty low vehicle. And when you start loading this up with gear, that's going to drop down by a few inches. So I'd recommend just keeping an eye on it if you're going up any really steep hills so you don't make ground contact. And how it installs is going to be through this 2-inch shank. This 2-inch shank is going to go into our 2-inch hitch receiver. Then we're going to have an anti-rattle bolt that goes through and connects to this nut. And the way that's going to work is you're grabbing it on one side and tightening it down from the other, which I'm not a super big fan of that, but it's not too bad to really operate because I can actually access this pretty easy. Now, in my opinion, I think if you're looking for a lightweight carrier, that's pretty easy to move because even though it is made out of steel, it's a pretty small carrier, so it's really easy to move. And if you are storing it in your garage, it doesn't take up a lot of space like some other carriers. Now, if you're looking for something that's going to be a little bit bigger, and if you want something to really sit off the ground a little bit more, and you don't mind it living on your vehicle, then I'd recommend the Reese Hitch Cargo Carrier. And what's nice about that one is it has a rise to it, so it sits off the ground higher, and it's going to be bigger. The only caveat is it's heavier, and it's not going to be as easy to store. So this is definitely more of a storage-friendly option. But that was just a look at the Flint Hill Goods Steel Hitch Cargo Carrier on the back of our 2023 Kia Sorento. Thanks for watching.